Hey, I'm Stratus, and sometimes I wonder what the origins of things are. Like, why do people put milk first? Why do I have this fish? And why does Tetris look like this nowadays? And not... Well, I think we can attribute this to one specific game. Tetris Worlds was released on September 5th, 2001. It was released on the Xbox, PS2, Gamecube, GBA, and Windows by THQ, and developed by Blue Planet Software, Radical Entertainment, and 3D6 Games. Up first, the Gamecube version, developed by Radical Entertainment. Yeah, that Radical Entertainment, the one that made Mario is missing. Let's hope nothing else goes missing. There's two different modes here, Arcade Mode and Story Mode. Let's get straight into the Arcade Mode, where we can choose 6 different modes: Square, Cascade, Sticky, Hotline, Fusion, Learning, and good old Tetris, which is what we'll start with. This is Tetris, good old Tetris. If you've played official modern versions of Tetris, then there's not many surprises to be had here in terms of gameplay. It is guideline after all, but there are a few differences. Like most Tetris games, there's a leveling system where every 10 lines you clear, you go up a level. And with every level, the gravity increases until 20G, where the piece falls to the bottom of the board instantly. But unlike modern games, World stops you after completing a level, saying, "Game over, you won." It's like a walk in the park, but you get stopped every time you take 10 steps.
Good f***ing job! You f***ing did it!
The controls are what you'd expect from a guideline game. Up is hard drop, down is soft drop, left and right move the pieces left and right, A is clockwise rotation, B is counterclockwise rotation, L and R are to hold the piece, and Z shows and hides the next piece. If you're crazy enough to do that. Now there is one obvious flaw here. Here's a hint. Yeah, the GameCube's D-pad is infamous for being terrible and squishy. Luckily, you can use the analog stick, but it's just as uncomfortable as the D-pad. It's like choosing between Sonic Free Riders and Sonic and the Secret Rings. I didn't have a great childhood.
Go for a Tetris.
Who is this whispering lady? And why does she sound familiar?
Tetris.
Oh, it seems like some of the sound effects have been used in other games like Tetris Zone. Neat. Alright, let's get into some of the other modes. The goal here is to try and form 4x4 squares with tetrominos. This mode is actually taken from the new Tetris, which has this square mechanic in there. You can make silver squares, which are a combination of different tetrominos, or gold squares, which are made up of the same tetromino. Clearing these big squares actually gives you more lines than usual, which is why it's highly recommended to make them. There's tons of ways to make these as well, but it can be super frustrating at times because not every piece fits. Looking at you, ZNS pieces. The gimmick for Cascade might not be so obvious until some holes start to show up. What's this? The tetrominos start to fall down? Bit too real for my taste. The best way to get through this mode is to actually clear more than 4 lines, which is actually possible. You basically have to use an L or J piece, then put some I pieces onto the ledge here. It reminds me a lot of Zone mode in Tetris Effect, except more mediocre and more convoluted. This looks like my burrito. The goal here is to get to the bottom of the board and clear the cheese blocks. Yes, that's what I'm calling them. You'll also notice that the tetrominos have 2 colors to them, and that's not for show. You're able to stick together pieces of the same colors, hence the name Sticky. You know what else is sticky? Glue. You freak. No, not Hotline Miami. If that was the case, I'd be f***ing dead. Okay, so there's 6 different colored lines on the board, and you basically have to clear those lines on those lines. The higher the line, the more points you can get. Clearing anywhere else gives you no points. So you can go one of 2 routes here. Play it safe and clear the green line, which is going to be slower, or you can just take it to the top and go crazy up there. It's up to you. More tiny squares! Basically, you have to connect the cheese blocks, the atom blocks, to the red ones, the fusion blocks, to create more fusion blocks. The cascade mechanic returns when you create a fusion block, but whoever was playing this didn't know that because they haven't even connected a single Mino!
Go for a Tetris.
Alright, well, first we need to see what we're working with. Something did go missing. Yes! An absolute Tetris paradise! A temporary one. Each level introduces a new piece. You start out with the eyes, then the square, then the L, J, S, Z, and M. It's a really interesting way to learn Tetris, but I'm a certified expert. I'm just here for the huge amount of eyepieces. And that's it for the arcade mode. But wait, there's a story too. So, what's the plot? Well, it was sort of explained before the title screen with this cutscene, but I usually skip those. But basically, these things are Minos, and their planet is about to be destroyed due to overheating. Oh, I know a simple fix. In order for them to escape, they have to open up Tetrions, which are gateways to other planets. But this is no easy task because they're locked, and the only way to open them up is to play Tetris. We're the ones tasked with opening up these gates, so the Minos can evacuate to their new homes safely. On second thought, why can't I just use a key or something? Or better yet, brute force. I mean, that's what I did when I got here. I just kind of barged in and they let me stay. Anyways, there's 6 different worlds we can travel to. Deneb, Mira, Aludra, Unukahi, Antares, and Talitha. Each world corresponds to a different mode, as shown here. Going into these worlds shows a slightly different UI from the arcade mode. One of the biggest differences is that the next queue looks like the Dreamcast logo. There's also this little Mino dude who's getting the pieces around and also just schmoovin'. Story mode is similar to a regular marathon. The game isn't stopping you after every level, which is great, but there is a cost. You're given 2 minutes to clear a certain amount of lines or blocks for every level that you're on, but there's also a ranking system. Every time you go up a level, you'll go up a rank. The only difference is that if you somehow deplete the timer, you won't go up a rank, but you'll still go up a level. This may or may not have happened to me. Twice. Now, in order to win and get these Minos to safety, you'll have to reach rank 11. You can go past that if you want to, but why would you put yourself through this when you can be playing... Wait, no, not that one! Yeah, I'll take it. Congratulations, you have colonized Talitha. Colonized? I guess this channel is British now. There's also some stuff that you can do in the story mode menu, like changing your character, including the name, color, and hat. Oh man, I didn't know they put Ness in here. So there's the arcade and story modes for Tetris Worlds. But wait, this game was released for the Xbox, PS2, PC, and GBA. What about those versions? Well, the Xbox version is very similar to the Gamecube version, as both of them were developed by Radical Entertainment. Unfortunately, I don't have an Xbox, so we're gonna move on to the PC version.